In this video, I'm going to be going over the pulling pattern with the RG bar from Functional Patterns, or a similar bar where you have a cable attachment at the end of the bar rather than a classic attachment in the middle of the bar, okay? So you'll need a cable machine or resistance band, something very light because it's more about working the patterns of the slinging motion and not feeling like anything's straining, but the whole system is working together. So I'm going to be demonstrating different progressions, both bilateral, 2 legs, 1 leg, and a stepping pattern variation. So I would work through them, and I'll talk more about that. So for this, what I would suggest is you could either do a double palm down variation, but a lot of times that feels straining on someone's wrist, so you could do that, but not push as much, and you'll learn how to do it properly. But if you want to avoid any wrist strain, I'd go with this hand up like a hockey stick. Now what's going to happen here is I need to make sure that both hands are involved. So this hand's pulling and this hand's pushing, and they're simultaneously always working together. In the double leg variation to start with, I'm going to have my knees bent. I'm going to feel the fronts of my feet, so I'm leaning forward a tiny bit. And what I want to do is push, pull, and I'm going to basically end up turning my pelvis before I actually move my arms. So I turn the zipper, and what's going to happen here is I'm really feeling that my weight is going to lean towards the right a bit. And from here, I'm going to finish the rep by and bringing my knuckles to touch the cable over here. As I come back, I have 2 options in general. I can look forward, or I can look towards where the head of the bar is. Neither are right or wrong, but one allows my head to dissociate, or one is allowing my body to move with the cable. I would encourage you to explore both. So I bend my knee, head over foot, push, pull. I turn the pelvis, and I feel the more I just go, I can just oscillate in that range, and I feel my right glute engaged. And now I go through. So here I'm looking, and I come back, or I go push, pull, and I can keep my eyes looking forward at where the cable is coming from. While I'm doing this, I'm noticing my butt working, my groin working. I'm not letting my knee snap, so I'm keeping it bent, and I feel the weight in the front of my foot. So one last one here, and I can show with here, thumbs down, palms down, turn, push, pull, and I would go to here, okay? Not going further and strain the wrist. Now the other variation we're gonna try is being on the right leg. I bend my knee, push, pull, I feel my glute engage immediately, so just even staying here and slowly working through that, I stay forward and coming back. So I really want head over foot. Back leg is not far back, nice and close. Turn and rip it. Okay, I can look that way and work. One thing with the arms here is that I don't want, I want my back to occupy space. So you'll see that I'm creating like a nice big back upper space here, like this, as opposed to being too straight. I like this idea of having my shoulder blades wide around, because our shoulder blades are supposed to sit wide on the rib cage here. Okay? So I'm here, turning, push, pull, pelvis turns, the hips turn to the right, and then I finish the motion. Good. Now the last pattern I can practice here is starting on my left-hand side here. So this involves some coordination. Push, pull. I feel my knee go forward. I turn my pelvis to the right as much as I can. That creates this sling effect where I really feel my obliques pre-tensioned. I'm here, turn, 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 and I work it back here. So sometimes when we're doing these step-in patterns, you might need to decrease the weight because it's tough. So we're here, push, pull. I pull, 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 and I step through. So I'm working the nature of walking, which is contralateral. That means that as this right foot comes here, so just to show you, to make it a little smoother, I would decrease the weight so that I time the motion effectively. So when my left leg is forward, see, very close, I turn, I turn, I turn, and that feels smoother end range for me because I'm not, I decrease the weight, I forgot my ego at the door, turn, and I connect to that. So I would definitely focus on just that double leg variation or that right, but practicing again, doing this even without a weight. You know, imagine your hands would turn in like this, turn like that. And just getting comfortable with this notion of head over foot, narrow step, and turn. So if I practice here, I could turn, push, pull, right? I feel that, and I work through. So even without the weight, it allows me to practice this important pattern, slings between the bodies, connections between opposite lat and glute, and then kind of the pec region with the inner groin on the opposite side. So there's really these spiralic or spirals that pass through the body, and we want to connect that. So this is a very powerful tool with the upper and lower connected, where we pre-tension, push, pull, and then go through. So really encourage you to work on both the pressing motion, which I did in a separate video, and the pulling variation, and getting comfortable doing it with the stepping and just more static variation. Of course, practice on both sides. You might feel that you have an easier time rotating towards one side versus the other. I practice that side, but I spend more time working on the side that doesn't have that same connection, and that over time will allow you to rotate your body more easily when you walk and run. And so give these a shot. I think you'll really enjoy the variation. Again, it doesn't have to be a crazy setup. I mean, yes, you need a stick basically with a hole at the end, but with a resistance band that might work. So you could do this at home with a very, very light resistance band. If you have any questions, let me know. Give it a shot. That's how you work your body from the ground up.